I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it already feels like home.
You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford. Powered by Horizon. This is big. This is gig. Hey everyone, it's Marty and welcome to the Feels Like Home podcast. This week we have a returning guest from season 1, our friend Wes Molebash. Wes has had a pretty rad couple of days here in Chillicothe where his new book, Travis Daventhorpe for the Win, was released finally. And back in season 1, if you remember that conversation, we talked a lot about Wes's journey as a cartoonist, and he mentions the book that he'd been working on, this graphic novel, and it finally released this past week, and we got a chance to sit down and talk to Wes and find out how that experience was, finally getting to release this book and what the future is for the story of Travis Daventhorpe and his friends in this adventure. So we hope you enjoy this conversation with Wes. It was great to catch up with him, and pretty exciting time in his life. And Mike and I had the opportunity to share how proud we are of him. And he's a good dude. We hope you enjoy this conversation with Wes Molebash.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Published author, Wes Molebash.
Crowd noise in the edit.
Okay,
there.
good. Yeah. Well, Wes, welcome back, my friend.
It is good to be back.
And this time, all the things that we talked about back in season 1.
Season 1, man.
Are all.
This is season 4.
Yeah. I can't believe it's been, I feel like it was yesterday when we chatted last.
It was almost 100 episodes ago.
Wow.
It's true. Yeah. It's crazy to think about that, but it's even crazier to think about the process that you've been through to write the first graphic novel and do all that. Plus, you've got some other things coming up as well. But let's focus on the here and now. Yesterday, you had your official, I guess, launch party at Wheatberry Books here in Chillicothe. Mm-hmm. I mean, just talk about what it's like to kind of now feel the tactile, novel in your hand.
It's pretty rad. Like I over the, this was a long time coming, obviously. And, the book's been done for a little while. And so we've had it, like a digital version of it, circulating for a while among the editors and stuff. And then, they send out advanced copies to get reviews and stuff. So I've read it and reread it many times on my computer and slowly grew to just hate it. Right. Just as a creator, you just get really critical. At least I do. I get really critical of myself. But when I got the physical copy, it was like looking at it for the first time again, and looking at it the way I intended it for it to be viewed. As much as a tech guy as I like to think that I am, I think there's still something pretty rad about having a physical book, especially when it comes to comics and stuff. It's very visual. And so, I was, it was, I don't know if you saw the video posted on Instagram, but we got the comp copies in the mail and opened them up, and it was, I don't know, it was a really special moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had another special moment like that as you went to some shops in Columbus as well.
That was just today, right?
Yeah. So we drove up to Barnes & Noble. We were checking on their website because it'll tell you if they have something in stock. And, that's always hit or miss if that's how accurate that is. So we drove up to Polaris, to the Barnes & Noble there. And the website said it was in stock, and they themselves we talked to a customer service person there, and they said, yeah, it's here. But we couldn't find it on the shelf there, and that was okay. I know it's at other Barnes and Nobles. I've had people send me pictures of it, but, then I wanted to go to Book Loft. You guys go to the Book Loft?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on occasion.
So that was really special because, I remember, when I was younger, especially middle school, high school, we used to go to Columbus a lot for shop and eat and stuff. And almost always we would hit Book Loft on the way home. And my parents bought so many Calvin and Hobbes treasuries and Foxtrot and Far Side and at that store, and I would read the book on the way home, and I remember there was one particular, the 10th anniversary book, the Calvin Hobbes 10th anniversary book. I got it from the Book Loft, and the first half of that book is just Bill Watterson talking about his career. It's really, really cool. And I remember reading that and just dreaming about the day when I could have my book in a bookstore. And so we got to Book Loft and they had a copy of my book in there, and it was like a full circle moment. It was really, really cool. And I hadn't been there in a long time, but I knew exactly where to go. If you've never been to Book Loft, it's like a maze in there. So, but I found it right away, and it was pretty rad, pretty cool moment.
Well, it took me 5 minutes to remember to tell you to make sure that you tell us the title of the book. I should have said that first of all, but
everyone knows it, right? It's assumed.
Yeah, right. Well, I know it, so then I make the mistake of thinking that everybody does. But Travis Daventhorpe.
Mm-hmm.
I almost say Davenport every time, and I think
you wouldn't be the only one.
It's For the Win.
Yeah.
And so just in case folks didn't listen to season 1, episode 3 or 4, I bet, maybe 5, I don't remember. But give us a little synopsis of the book and what what you're trying to accomplish, what audience you're trying to reach here.
Yeah, it's geared towards the middle grades, 8 years old to 12. Honestly, I think if you like comics, you're going to like this book. That's my 2 cents. But it's about a kid who is the ne'er-do-well, kind of socially awkward, super smart, but not really good at much else. And he finds out he's the legendary hero of a kingdom in another dimension, and he has to learn how to fill those shoes. And it's got, it's a amalgamation of all the stuff I love, like fantasy and science fiction and video games and humor and cartoons, of course. And it's going to be a 4-book series, and I think it's pretty epic. The second book is done. We're getting ready to send it to the printer. I'm working on the third one right now, and I've had this like in my head, just kind of rolling around for a while. But to see how it's unfolding, I'm like, wow, this really is like an epic tale. Like, this is awesome. So I'm excited to see how when it concludes, it'll be bittersweet, but I'm really excited when it's all said and done and I can look at all 4 books next to each other, that'll be pretty rad.
So how long ago did you actually have the name?
Travis Davenport? Pretty early on. So the story of that is this was back in 2017. My oldest was 3 at the time, and my youngest was not yet a year old. And we were playing on the floor, and I was trying to think of an idea for a book, for a kid's book, because I wanted to make something for my boys to enjoy.
Right.
Didn't have anything for my boys to enjoy. And we were playing on the floor, and I was thinking they were playing, and I was staring at the wall, thinking of ideas. And I was thinking of trying to think of a funny name, and Travis Davenport popped in my head. I thought it was a mouthful, but it still kind of rolled off the tongue. Yeah. And I thought it was a great name for like a ne'er-do-well, nerdy kid. And I came up with that, and I came up with the Cyborgosaurus Rex, which is the big bad he fights in the first book. And I thought that was really funny. And so I just took those 2 ideas, and over the course of however long it was, I started creating the story around that.
Yeah.
So how long did it really take you to kind of craft that story? It's funny, you think about like with movies, something like John Wick, where there's like 4 of those movies now. There's a 4th that's just being released. There's parts of it that were dreamt of when the first one came out that are in 3,
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way you kind of did it, or is it kind of like one stage and then another stage? Or
so my original goal was for 7 books, and they signed me for 4. And so I had this really big vision that I'm condensing down to 4 books. I've actually had my hand slapped a little bit about the length of the books. But what's funny is I was telling someone else, prior to making these books, I was scared to death of making a graphic novel just because of a lot of work and everything. And all the books that I was looking at, or, when I was doing my research and trying to figure out how long the book needed to be, everything was like 120 to 180 pages. And I was like, I don't know if I can make 120, 180 pages. And then my first book's 288 pages. And the second one is 288 pages. And the third one, they're like, you need to cool it. You need to rein it in a little bit. So I have the opposite problem, which is a good problem. So I won't complain about that. But
that didn't happen in the Harry Potter series. They kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Know.
So
yeah.
I think with that, when it got huge, they're like, you just take as long as you want. These things are going to sell.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll happen with Travis Davenport. They'll be like, you just make it as big as you want.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a chance that you get to stretch the story out if
I
super
hope.
successful?
I think there is hope. There is a chance for that. I asked my editor early on, what if this goes beyond this, story arc? And she said, well, as long as these first 4 books kind of sew up a lot of loose ends, you can leave it open for, and so I have a plan for that. Like, I don't want it to be such a big cliffhanger that people are like disappointed, but leave enough hanging that we could come back to that world.
You could come back and do another 4 books if you needed
absolutely.
to.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
told my wife, I said, if they said, we want you to make Travis Davenport for the rest of your life, I'd be like, let's do it. Let's go. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, and that, you love the character, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the key. J.K. Rowling loved Harry Potter, and it became something bigger than, the world almost.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's interesting to me to ask, is there a lot of parallels between you and Travis?
Yeah. They asked me yesterday at the book launch if there's any characters that's based on me, and I said it's Travis, but he represents all the insecurities I had as a kid, and probably still have as an adult, but especially as a middle grade kid, as a middle schooler. Middle school years are rough, especially like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And I just kind of tapped into that. And, I never felt like I was good at anything except for drawing. That was the one thing that I felt confident in. And it's his smarts, it's his intellect. And so that's the one thing I think he finds some confidence in. But every other part, his social, where he stands in the social status and all that stuff. He has bullies and all that good. I had bullies. Anyway, I tapped into all the stuff that made me sad and insecure, and I put it into this poor kid. and if you're listening, it's funny. It's actually really a lot of fun. I know that sounds kind of depressing, but it's also the beginning of a lot of humor in the book too.
Sure.
Well, and I think knowing you the way that I've known you for decades now, that's scary to say, right? Those two elements of your personality is what makes you. It's part of what I know about you. And I think you're a funny guy. I think you're a talented guy. I think, I don't know your whole story, but I know most people's story, like you and me and Marty, where in those middle school years were definitely rough.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think it becomes, I think it's in that sense, and I've not read the book yet, but it's relatable at that. If we can all share that experience, then it's pretty relatable.
I think that's the best stories. Like, no matter how, everyone wants to know what's your book about, right? And you want to hook them. So you say, if you're making The Matrix, it's about this guy who finds out he's jacked into the computer and all this stuff. And it's like, no, it's about a guy figuring out who he is. And the same thing is true for Star Wars and Harry Potter and all these big things. Like, underneath the gimmick, underneath the, the wizard story or the space story, it's a story about relationships, and that's the core of this book as well.
It's about the journey of discovering who you are.
Exactly. Right? Becoming comfortable with who you are, especially with Travis. That's a big thing with him. It's like just accepting who he is, warts and all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and you don't have to be in middle school to do that. I mean, I see that. We were talking before we walked into the studio that my 7-year-old Lucy is an artist, and I see a lot of those things in her. She's very loud, but then she's incredibly shy.
Yeah.
So if I were to tell you, hey, this is Lucy, she's my artist, and you would go, hey, I hear you draw, that's rad, she would freak out. Yeah. She's going to crawl under her table, And so I think, that you don't have to be in middle school, but certainly it helps because you're going through it at the same time, right? So I think that part of it is really neat. And middle school may have been long ago for us, but everybody's going through it.
Sure.
There's a lot of people going through it at the same time. So, so do you do a book tour with something like this?
I'm going to be on. They've got me lined up for festivals and stuff. So, the book launch party yesterday was part of that, and then next week I'm going to Chicago for a comic book convention called C2E2, and I'm a featured guest, which is pretty rad. I got my picture on the website and everything.
Nice.
And I get to be on some panels, and that'll be fun. And then
you're going to get off the plane, and they're going to be like holding that little iPad with your name on it.
Mr. Molebash, please follow me.
Actually, it'll probably say Travis Davenport,
which would also be fun. And then I'm going to, there's a couple festivals in Ohio. There's this library festival called the Ohioana Book Festival.
Yep.
I'm going to be at it in April. And then there's another one in Columbus in July. And then I just got accepted today. I'm really excited about this one. It's the Cartoon Crossroads at Ohio State at the Billy Ireland and Columbus Metropolitan Library. And it's become this huge, like, week-long festival of comics and comic art. And I get to be there for that. I'm pretty jacked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. So they're not sending you to LA and you're not doing the Today Show. And
No. I would love to do that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
That would be rad. They did. I have a publicist.
Okay.
Yeah. And she did get, she had me fill out a thing for, like, because she did pitch me to TV shows and radio shows. I'm guessing they either passed or we haven't heard back from me yet. But I had to fill out she asked me a bunch of questions I had to fill out. Yeah. So that was like a preliminary thing. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's been a lot of fun little experiences like that. And some of it hasn't come to fruition, but it's been learning.
Yeah.
And it's been really, really cool.
Yeah. And it's funny, like being in media for as long as I was, I have an idea of what that world is. But if you were to come to me and say, what does a publicist do?
Yeah.
All I'm going to tell you is they pitch me stories.
They stress you out sometimes.
Yeah. I can imagine they do, right?
But no, I have an awesome team at First Second, and my publicist is one of them. She's like, she's just 100 miles per hour, man. She's on it. And a lot of the stuff that's coming up, like this convention that I'm going to, I wouldn't have been able to drum it up myself. I mean, she's like crushing it, getting me, these opportunities to not just be like a guy that's on at a table or a thing, but to have my name on the list of people that's going to come. Is that way with the Ohioana thing and the book festival in the summer that I can't remember the name of right now. So yeah, all that stuff's like really exciting and really cool. And, I'm hopeful that it will do the job and help get the word out some more,
So do you have other characters and other things that you are I mean, obviously this takes precedent because you're finishing, 3 and 4 of the series, but do you have other things that you're looking at and going, hey, look, if these 4 go well and somebody else wants to give me, another 4-book contract, or maybe they want to sign me for another 4 or whatever.
I got no shortage of ideas, Mike. I got, if I've played with several scenarios in my head. If they came to me and said, we want to do more Travis Davenport books, I'd be like, let's go. I got ideas. If they wanted to go, I have ideas to spin off, to take some of the characters that are kind of secondary, make them the main character in their own series. I have idea for a sort of Star Wars kind of space cowboy type comic graphic novel series that's middle grade. That's got like a kid protagonist. And then I got this one idea that is like this girl in a punk rock band, and I think it'd be really fun. She's a middle school. And again, I don't know what a middle school type girl doesn't fit in. She plays the punk rock music, and it's kind of these are just real basic ideas I got kicking around my head that I think have potential to be pretty cool if I need to whip them out. You know what I mean? But I'm not worried about lack of ideas right now.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. Right now, the things I'm worried about, I can't control. Right. And that's people buying the book and liking it. And I'm having, it's been an exciting couple of days with the release, getting lots of comments and text messages and emails and, attaboys and congratulations and stuff. And, I'm trying really hard to like, it's so hard to let the book be the book and I'm still me.
Right.
I have to have this emotional disconnect from the book, and it's so hard because I've put so much of my heart into it.
Sure.
So we'll see. If the book, what I'm trying to say is if the book fails, I have to remember I'm not a failure. It's okay. I am not my book.
I don't know what that means when you say that, but the fact that your idea is in my hands right now,
Yep.
I don't know that you can even say that it's a failure, or it could be. But I did have one thing when I picked it up and saw the cover, I was like, I know you wrote this a while back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably been finished for a couple of years.
Probably. When did we? So
It was 21.
I think
Talked. I think
when we talked, I was either done or close to done with it.
I feel like you had already sent it
That might be the case. Yeah.
back, but
efforting. I'm efforting this.
I feel like Travis is wielding the dark saber.
Yeah. A little bit.
And I wondered if anybody had mentioned that, because I was like, oh, dude, he's got the dark saber. And that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I actually,
But that would have been your idea first.
I'm a
'cause-
nerd and I like video games, man. So a lot of video games have influenced this, and one of them is Legend of Zelda. And
Sure.
I'm worried that it might be a little too on the nose. And that sword is definitely influenced by the Master Sword in Legend of Zelda for the Zelda nerds out there. But
well, I knew that about you. We've already had that conversation, so I kind of figured that's where it came
yeah,
from. But
yeah.
yeah.
So May 10, 2021 is when it debuted. So we probably did the interview like the week before.
yeah.
So
That's crazy.
Wow.
But man, it was fun. I stopped by the launch party at Wheatberry, and I'm standing there talking to Eli Preston and a couple of other people, and Vanessa's like, does anybody need to pick up their pre-order? And I was like, oh yeah, I have a pre-order. And Chelsea has this like scared look on her face, and she goes running back and comes out with the book, and she's like, this is the last one.
Yeah.
We've sold out. I don't have any for the party.
Yeah.
And I felt bad. I'm like, well, here, take mine and resell it. I will see Wes. I'll have him sign. I'll pick another one up and have him sign it. And she's like, no, take it, because I'll just turn around and sell it to somebody else. So I was really happy and I started digging into it last night. So I'm 90 pages in, dude.
Awesome.
And it's fun. I just have to compliment you on your artwork, dude.
Thanks,
I've
man.
always loved your cartoons. We've talked about that in the first podcast, but this is next level. This is so good.
Thanks, man. I'm really proud of it. And what the second book is like, I think is even a step up from that. Like I
learned a lot.
I did. And I shared this yesterday during my little talk, but one of my favorite cartoonists, his name is Jeff Smith, and he lives in Columbus, and he's got a series called Bone. It's huge. And when that book was originally published as a comic book, it was black and white. And then when it got picked up by the big publishers, they reissued it in color. And I asked him if when he first drew Bone, did you know in your head you wanted to be color and you kind of left room for that? Or did you not care? And he said, no, I just drew the crap out of it. Only he didn't say crap.
Yeah.
And that became my mantra for this second book. Like I just would draw, like at night, I'd be one of the things I love about drawing on an iPad is like I can sit on the couch with my wife and watch TV and draw and stuff. And we would draw until my eyes are bleary and we're getting ready to go to bed. And I'd look at my wife. I said, I'm drawing the crap out of this book. and so she got to where she heard that a lot and would roll her eyes. But, I feel I'm going to take that same mantra into book 3 and, just really, really proud of how I appreciate you appreciating the work I put into that. And I just want to say, like, I put even more into 2, and there's going to be even more into 3. And, it's what's crazy is like you get new process ideas, and one of my fears now is like, I don't want to get too far away that it feels disjointed visually. So like I've got this new template that I want to be using for book 3 that I'm really excited about. That's going to allow me to do different panel layouts that I didn't do in book 1 and 2. And, I'm excited to use it, but I'm also worried. Like, I wonder if people will be like, this looks weird. This isn't what I'm used to, but whatever. I got to do what I got to do. But
yeah, I love how you introduce your characters in this.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, you're heavily influenced by video games.
Sure.
And so you have the graphic panel, the one page of the character, and you've got, the bar graphs that says their skill levels, like their character in a video game. And I love it. And then you always have the one, one of them was snarkiness. And then, none of them had magic. And it was just, I think it's brilliant. Kids are going to love it. Adults are going to love it. I think you're right. It is not just a middle school graphic novel. It will meet all ages. It's a lot of fun. I have my oldest daughter is a third grade teacher, and this book might be right at the beginning of. I'm trying to think how old you are in third grade.
9 or 10.
Like
okay,
9 because that's
9. Okay,
that's
so
Jules,
then it's targeted right. They're gonna, her class is gonna get some of these.
Oh,
for sure.
You. That's awesome.
Now that I'm 90 pages in, so yeah. I sent a text to her today.
You could send them now and just say, just read the first 90 pages and then I'll get back to you.
Catch up with you.
Okay.
Right. But I sent her a picture. I'm like, hey, you have some of these coming for your classroom. So your bookshelf. And so the kids in Barthad Elementary are going to be Travis fans, man.
There you
Awesome.
go.
I love it. We've been getting I feel really blessed because we've been getting all these text messages. The book, most everybody who pre-ordered it, they got it yesterday. Right. Mm-hmm. And, we've been getting text. My wife has been getting text messages from people she went to school with, and she's sharing them with me. And she got this cool picture today. It was a girl she went to school with who's a teacher now. And I can't remember quite the relationship here, but a couple kids in her class had the book. And she took a picture of these two boys with both their books side by side. And they were comparing those character pages, the stats to each other. And I'm like, golly, that's what I did with my buds. Like we would get our magic cards out or Pokemon cards or whatever, and you compare. And these kids are doing it with your book. And it's pretty rad.
That is fantastic.
Well, and we were talking about my son who's 12. He's in the 6th grade and he's a science kid. He's a math kid. And, I'm looking at the back of the book here and you talk about perfecting his science fair project. Yeah. Marty knows this because Marty got to be a part of my son's
I helped with science fair
this year because he decided that he wanted to do something related to baseball. And so he decided that he was going to say, does a corked bat really make a ball go farther? And so we had to figure out how to cork a bat. So I went to the guy that I know knows everything in the world. And so Marty helped us cork a bat.
Corked a couple bats.
And then we used them and we hit with them. And
what'd you discover?
there was like a negligible difference, to be honest with you.
So the Mythbusters would say plausible.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. And he got to go to districts. So
wonderful.
Let's go.
Yeah, but that's good. I did not know that he got to go to districts.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So, but I think I say that to say this, I think there's parts of this that when you look at the book, kids are going to see themselves in certain characters, right?
That's what I hope.
And that's what creates some stickiness to the series and so on.
What I hope too for people, especially in Ross County, is Ross County is represented in that book. So especially Kingston. So the middle school where Travis goes to school is the old Zane Trace Middle School. Yeah.
Dude, that was awesome.
And then there's a map at the front that is totally just downtown Kingston.
Yeah. The first thing I went to was I grew up there.
Yeah, there you go.
On the corner.
I love it. And then there's County Line Road and everything. The only thing I did that site where the Hopeton Forest is, I destroyed all those houses so I could put the forest there.
Yeah.
So they're not going to appreciate
folks.
that. Yeah.
And maybe I shouldn't say this on the podcast, but Travis lives awfully close to where.
My wife says if anyone comes here and doesn't, you're in trouble. So no one come to my house in toilet paper or anything.
There will be a pilgrimage of Davenport fans.
Thorpe fans there standing out in the lawn.
Waiting for me to come out and
With
check the mail.
Standing there
Walk
waiting
out
to-
to the mailbox.
This got weird, babe. I'm sorry. I didn't.
You're in your robe
You
and
walk-
slippers.
You got a cup of coffee. You're like, oh,
Why are there 60
morning.
elementary kids in my front yard?
if only, right?
Yeah.
If only.
You never know, man.
With their books in hand going, what's going to happen next?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
book 4?
You gotta wait. I'm still working on it. You gotta let me work.
That reminds me of that scene in As Good as It Gets when the lady is at the elevator and she's like, I'm sorry, I just got to say something. And he goes, oh.
Oh, that's fantastic.
This is big. Horizon Fiber Internet is ready
Let them get you hooked up and power your Wi-Fi network.
with the speed and reliability that only a 100% fiber network can do.
Horizon is ready to help you do what you do better. With real people, real rates, and a real service.
Connect with them today, and the first month is free, plus no contracts and no data caps. Call 740-772-8331
Or visit horizonconnects.com/Chillicothe to sign up today.
As you go through this process again, you mentioned it a little bit. You're finding out ways to do things and maybe even do them more efficiently.
Yeah.
And does that, for you, then shorten the length of time that it takes you to do some of these
Here's
things?
what I've learned, man, in publishing is you think you're shortening the time, and they're not. There's not. So
They'll make it up on the editing process.
They do. I turned in. So on book 2, I got a little bit behind on. So we break up the process. So like you have the writing, and then I pencil it. And during the penciling process, that's when most of the art edits happen because I haven't finalized it in ink yet. Which with digitally, it's still not totally final, but by that time, a lot of work's gone into it. So we try to do most of the art edits during that penciling phase. During that phase, I got a little bit behind on my deadlines because I was drawing the crap out of that book. I was having a lot of fun. But I made up that time inking because so much detail had already been done. Inking was a blast, and it just went a lot faster because I wasn't filling in the gaps without it. Normally I would do if it was really rough. And I'm thinking, all right, I bought myself a couple weeks. Nope. They bumped up all the other things and had to
Squeezed you.
jump right into letters and colors and all that stuff. So, I've learned like no matter how efficient I get, it's never really helping me to get any breathing room. I will say my editor is like really rad, and he will, like, especially, when I turned in book 2, he gave me like 2 or 3 weeks to kind of catch my breath, and the stuff that I was assigned, it was like easy.
Yeah.
I need a paragraph summary of this or something like that. And so I did get a little bit of time, but then it was right back into it. But yeah.
Yeah, they're probably used to, I know they are used to dealing with artists and writers and understand the creative process really well. So knowing that, giving you that time to breathe a little bit is super helpful on the creative side.
And that's the thing Michael is awesome at. That's the name of my main editor is Michael. And he gets it, man. Like he's edited so many graphic novels, and he understands. Like one of the things I had to learn how to do was write a script for my graphic novels, and I've never done that. I've always written for myself, and it's always just been scribbles, little thumbnail drawings, and I was the only one that understood it. I was the only one who needed to understand it.
Right.
But now I have to take my ideas and put them on paper in a way that someone who isn't me can try to put those pieces together. But he's like, look, I know you're not going to we don't need this to look like a Hollywood script or anything like that. And we came up with this really simple way of doing it. And it just makes sense to me, and it makes sense to him, and it works. And even now, like the first book was completely scripted out. Books 2 and 3 are like really detailed outlines. I'm not scripting out like every single panel and saying, here's how many panels are on page 3 or whatever like that. I'm just saying, here's this scene. Here's how long I think it will be. I kind of try to ballpark it, and here's what's going to happen. And from that, he's like, go to pencils, let's go. And I love that
so he's figured out how you work and then has made the process.
He's adapted to me.
Yeah.
It's been pretty rad.
Well, and that's how you get the most out of people, right? When you take their skills and what they're really good at and how they operate, and you work within that and give them the opportunity to to work like how they like to work, you get way more out of people. So yeah, that's just good leadership.
Yeah.
Well, and I agree with that because, to use an author that we can all kind of relate to, if you try to make Rob Bell sound like a regular author, he has to write in his cadence.
Yeah, that's right.
And
It looks like a poem.
Yeah. and when you start reading it, you're a little, it feels odd, but after you get to the end of that book and then read the next book, you already know the cadence, right?
Yeah.
And so I think knowing that, they had to probably make that accommodation because that's not the way a lot of people write. I remember trying to write some columns in that way and some editorials in that way, and people were like, "This doesn't work."
Don't get creative, Mike.
Yeah, like it just that is.
This isn't what we're used to.
Yeah, that was definitely part of the message for sure. But I think that's great. Do you feel like, as someone who's on your first series, that they looked and said, "Okay, let's find him an editor that has some great experience," or how'd that work?
So again, all of this is new to me. So I had no expectations. I was
just happy to get an editor.
I was just happy to get on there. So my acquiring editor, her name is Robin, and she is fantastic. And she's the person who, when I got the book deal, she was the person I talked to on the phone to make sure it was a good fit and all that stuff.
And I think we talked a lot about her the first time.
She's awesome. So contract signed, everything's good. We're getting ready to go to work. Robin emails me. She goes, "We've got this contract editor. His name is Michael Mochio. He's going to be the guy. I'm going to just kind of oversee at a high level, but Michael's going to be the one to guide this ship." And I was like, I made a connection with you, Robin. I kind of was looking forward to work. But then Michael comes in, and I tell you what, man, me and him are like peas in the pod. Like, he is just a really, really cool cat. And I'm excited because I get to meet him at Chicago. He's going to be at the convention.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but every person I worked with at First Second has been amazing, just absolutely amazing. I could not have asked for a better team of people. I feel really guilty even being this excited about, because I have friends who do not like their editors and do not like the marketing they've gotten and all that stuff. And I feel very, very, very blessed to have the people that I have in my corner. And so, yeah, I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it does. It does. And the reason why I asked that is because I don't know how. First of all, I'm unfamiliar with that process. Sure. But I think beyond that, the really interesting thing that I look at in that is, in my head, that's probably what I would have done if I was somebody overseeing these projects. I would have said, "Let's find this guy, an experienced editor that knows the ins and outs and can work with folks." Mm-hmm. But that's also a journalist writer's brain and not an artist / writer's brain as well.
Well, I will say that imprint is, so that my publisher, the imprint is First Second, which is part of Macmillan, and First Second, all they do is graphic novels. So everyone on that team, that's what they do. That's the world they're in. Robin among them. She gets graphic novels. And Michael was a guy that they hired, and I'm sure because he'd already had a couple graphic novel editorial. He's like a freelance editor. And by day he works in licensing for I think right now he works for the company that makes Among Us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he's worked for DreamWorks and all these cool companies like that. And then he does the editing on the side. And, but yeah, he's got a track record of working with, editing graphic novels. So they all get it. They all work with people who think like I do, and they understand that we're more visual than we are words, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so cool to bring this kind of full circle. When we met in season 1, we were talking about the process and envisioning a future, and now the future's here.
Yeah.
And it's even closer to reaching the end of the four books. Like I said, I haven't picked it up and read it yet. I flipped through it a little bit, but I'm super excited to do it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Walker to read it. And Juliana struggles with reading, but she loves reading graphic novels. So I think that's probably going to be a great opportunity for her
Awesome.
too. So, anything else you want to talk about, man?
Is Juniper somebody from your childhood? Is it
No,
formed over after
Juniper's just a cool character. I think, well, let me say this. All my characters are some version of me.
Okay.
And that's in a weird sense. So Juniper is probably the part of me that's confident.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis is the part of me that's not confident. Travbot, Travis's friend, the little robot friend he has, is that undying, loyal friend. I wish, I have great friends, but you want that one. Who wouldn't want to have a robot as a friend? That's
right.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then Belazar, the wizard, he's the wise person that I want to be.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they're all kind of some either element of me or someone I aspire to be in a way. So
we all know that everyone has a Derek Devers in their life.
Right.
Right. That's
Derek
the bully.
Devers.
Yeah.
He's a jerk.
The atomic wedgie to begin the book is, no spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But
that's early on.
It's early.
But yeah, one of the things I shared yesterday, I gave a little spiel at the little private launch party we had, and which turned out to be like really cool. And I didn't know what to expect. But it was just really special. But I shared that Ohio is home to so many awesome cartoonists, and this area of Ohio especially. And I talked about Billy Ireland, and who lived not far from here. And Billy Ireland, I've been reading. I bought a biography of his about him when I was at the Cartoon Crossroads last October. They sell it at the Wexner Center for the Arts there. And I just identify with that guy. He loved this area.
Yeah.
And he worked at the Columbus Dispatch, and he was getting attention from Chicago, LA, and New York to come be their staff cartoonist. And he turned all those jobs down. And one of his colleagues said, "What are you doing? Why are you turning all these jobs down?" And he said, "Don't you understand? Everything I'm doing, I'm trying to get back to Ross County." And that's how his love for this area. I feel that. I love being a Ross Countyan.
Yeah.
And I hope that the things I create make our community proud. I want my community to know I love them. And I hope that, they feel that.
Well, we are proud of you, man.
Thanks, man.
This was a dream of yours, and I love seeing people reach dreams because when you reach a dream and you attain it, then you can dream more dreams.
Yeah.
That's right.
And to me, that's super cool.
Yeah, you know that there's a shot. You got a shot of reaching it.
That's the cool thing. I've been achieving these finding my book in Book Loft today, and of course, getting a book deal. Like all these things are like huge accomplishments. These are little pieces of the dream, and it does beget more dreams. You start going exactly like you said, Mike. It's like, whoa, maybe there is potential for this to be. Maybe there could be a show or a movie or something like. And it doesn't feel far fetched anymore to dream like that.
Well, and you never know, right? Like, I mean, somebody picks it up,
Yeah.
and then they go, "Hey, I don't do animated features." But then they show it to somebody that does.
Right.
And then, listen, SpongeBob SquarePants started with an idea somewhere and somebody turned it into a TV show that the world loves now.
Right.
And it goes for, there's a million different cartoons and animated specials that
And
do
honestly, until you said that, I didn't even go down that road.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
There's potential for lots of things.
Yeah.
Travis could be on lots of things. The school lunchbox.
How rad would that be?
Would be incredible.
That'd be so cool.
I would start carrying my lunch every day in a Travis Davenport lunchbox for sure.
I want the backpack that will hold everything.
Yeah. The bag of holding.
Yeah, the bag of holding.
We should market that. It's sitting on a gold mine over here.
Hey, listen, the world's your oyster right now, man. Strike while the iron's hot, right?
Yeah, it's probably been a pretty rat to use one of your words, and you've been using that word for a long time. And I'm going to lose it. You have a saying that I think you're trying to start.
Is that,
that you wrote in the book, the bedroom scene. when he's saying not to talk to his parents.
I know what you're talking about.
Heck no, techno.
Yeah.
Are you like, I'm going to start there's going to be elementary kids everywhere.
I heard someone say that somewhere. I can't even take credit for it. And I think it's, it's one of those things, man. That's part of creating is people say stuff and you don't even know. People don't even know that they're giving you content. You know what I mean? So.
Well, that's 100% true, because I remember nobody in my inner circle said the word homie, and I just said it one time. And then the next thing I knew, it was like a thing. Yeah. And I was like, I didn't start that, but maybe I did start that.
In my group, I did.
Yeah,
right?
In my group, I started that for sure. I was the only one in Sandusky, Ohio saying homie. I know it. And I have and again, it's one of those quantifiable things. Nah, you couldn't do it. Right. Yeah. So, but.
Though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's all.
Those phrases have to start someplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, again, man, thank you for coming back on. Thank you for inspiring a lot of folks, because I think it is. If your goal is to try and put Ross County in a good light and give people something to really
100%. You've done that.
Really strive toward and know that they can do, you're there, man.
Thanks, man.
And so
that means a lot.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think it's just tremendous. Yeah. And we wish you the best of luck on this. We'll call it a tour, even though it's not a tour.
Let's do it.
I mean, let's call it a tour. We can do whatever we want.
We can.
I mean, it's like Paul Rudd. Who would have thought it? Not me.
Not me. Yeah. Not me.
So, but enjoy yourself. Enjoy the ride. Keep doing the hard work, because that's the thing that makes it great.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Wes. You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford. Powered by Horizon. This is big. This is gig.
It feels a little strange, but I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it all